Just 4 weeks into his term, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is sounding the alarm about the city's budget.
He says New York is facing a projected $10 billion budget deficit and emphasizes the seriousness of this deficit like this.
We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession. And so there will not be one single thing that can answer that crisis. It will require us to pursue every single avenue. That means looking inward into savings and efficiencies. That also means raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. And it means recalibrating the relationship with the state.
You heard Mayor Mamdani hint there to his proposed solution to this Great Recession scale crisis. He says he plans to raise taxes on wealthy residents in the city, but he also says he wants lawmakers at the state level to increase the amount of funding it gives to the city. Take a listen.
We are looking for what New York City is owed. And what we have found in almost the entire duration that former Governor Cuomo was at the helm in Albany was the shifting of that relationship into one that is stunning in its imbalance. And so there are a number of specific things that then Governor Cuomo did in shifting those burdens. There are sadly too many examples to be able to cite with you today, but it does leave us with many options for how we can bring this back to what is deserved.
As for raising taxes, a major concern is that doing so will drive out the wealthy who would be taxed under his proposal, something CNBC's Squawk Box pressed him on.
If you lose a couple of those people, is that in your mind okay? Is that a cost of doing business? Or is that a problem? And what do you do about that?
Well, I think I have to prove that this increased revenue leads to an increased quality of life. And frankly, we also have to get through the kind of fear-mongering that typically takes place in this. The other day, I was speaking to a New Yorker who self-identified themselves as someone who would be taxed by our proposals. They said, I'm going to leave, like you're saying. I said, I don't think you will. They said, why? I said, because it's a 2% increase. We're talking about $20,000 on an income of $1 million. They said, that's actually much less than I thought it would be. I wouldn't actually be making a financial decision on the basis of that kind of an increase.
Despite the $10 billion hole, Mamdani says he plans to present a balanced preliminary budget, but didn't say whether that budget would include his signature proposals like free buses and government-subsidized grocery stores. Oh,
Two things that you're obsessed with, the grocery stores and the buses. Can we focus on one thing? I like that he's holding the landlords to account. I like that the math.
That most of all.
I like that the math isn't crazy.
Can
I profoundly say what I gotta say?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
2%, like he gave an example. It's a 2% increase. It's really irrelevant to a millionaire. It's $20,000. Not saying that money's irrelevant.
I'll just say 2% of your income if you.
Well, give me. I need a couple more dollars to get to $1 million a year, but I'm hoping to get there soon. Listen, the most ultra high earners are not leaving New York because New York is the best.
We'll see.
As somebody who's from there, LA is totally different, and I say that as somebody who's weary, right? I understand Hollywood and the industry, and I've watched it Netflix build in New Mexico. I've watched Tyler Perry have one of the most popular studios now to be rented from in Atlanta.
Yeah, you don't have to live in
and
LA.
So now it's kind of like, oh man, I don't know. LA was always like Hollywood, and now movies are more and more shooting internationally or other places in the U.S. So New York could turn into like the place where people don't want to be, but come on, it's the city where dreams come true, never sleeps. Like it really, I'm from New York. I mean, I'm not gonna. And no, you're a hater. That's sheer hatred. Come on, guys. You guys know New York. Everybody internationally is like, I want to go to New York. I want to come to New York. It's like a dream come true to just
then you get there,
get off the train and see all the things.
Yeah, that's like I think that dream is dying.
Well, I'll say, and
there's a lot nicer places.
New York is extremely and unusually dependent on high earners. So the top 1% to 5% already pay a disproportionate tax rate. And as I continue to pursue my American dream, I hope to be in that top 1% to 5%. And I would not like to be having Mamdani in there talking about, oh, we need more money. They already disproportionately pay like this key, like thousands of taxpayers pay like the most in extreme amounts already because New York disproportionately affects them. So I don't think people are going to leave.
5% of earnings, my dear.
Maybe I hold myself to a higher standard.
It's like not the 1%, but like the 3 to 5%. We very
you don't know what I make, Rob. You don't know what I make.
It's in the ballpark. It's similar, I think.
Listen, I think at the very least, when I'm trying to defend Mamdani here, it could buy time as they come up with some concrete plans for the future, as they think about how they could get prevent emergency services in the city getting cut. If it's this extreme urgency that he's speaking to and saying that this deficit is wild and saying that maybe other parts, from what I gathered, he's trying to say that other parts of New York that aren't as concentrated as Manhattan are getting allocated funds like in the same amount that Manhattan's getting. And that's because of Cuomo is doing. If he wants to undo some of that to bring money in, it's not all just tax the rich. So I would think you'd be happy to hear about more of these policies.
No, I was. And I would love to hear more about that. I don't hold Andrew Cuomo in very high regard, so I'm not. I was not pushing back on that. I don't know enough to say. Now, I also...
And he didn't list anything.
Just because I don't like Andrew Cuomo doesn't mean that's a fair attack on him. Right. I have no idea what the situation is. If he somehow hollowed out payments that should be made to New York City or things that should be provided in New York City by the state, that's a bad thing. I don't know whether he did that or not. I don't automatically believe or disbelieve, Zohran, that that's the case, but that seems like something to work on. I'm glad he didn't say that we're going to fix this solely by taxing the wealthy, because that would be, but now his plan there was very specific. We're going to tax the wealthy this much more. On everything else, it's, we're going to recalibrate. We're going to look at things. It's kind of vague. That plan's very concrete. He thinks people won't leave. I don't know. Maybe he's right. California, though, is doing a more serious experiment, raising the taxes by much more, promising to raise them, and it is generating turnover. People are fleeing. We are watching it happen. The highest incomers are leaving the state. Now, that tax that some people in California are trying to impose is much more insane than Zohran's increase. So Zohran's increase might not have the same effect. But, I would be worried about this as a political leader in an era increasingly where remote work is a thing, where you can live and work in different places. We're more globally integrated. The network effects of being in a place like LA or Silicon Valley or New York are, I think, still, they're not nothing, certainly. I mean,
yes,
I live
as like people want to
I would rather
be
live
amongst the people
no,
that
it's
you
not nothing.
do
I'm not saying
business
it's nothing, but it is certainly less important than it was before. Particularly in these very high income the tech industries where you're coordinating, you're working with engineering teams that are halfway around the world. So or people still living in their mother's basements in just some random place in the country.
I'm still thinking about you saying mom knows best or whatever, about a mom complaining about her child being wrongfully killed by the government.
Oh, let's not go back to that.
I don't want to go back to I'm just saying the mom knows best thing. Yeah, okay, fine. I want to hear more about his plan. I don't like that he was vague about what exactly Cuomo did and what funds were being allocated. He's like, too many.
Frankly, it sounded like kicking a man while he's down.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Fine.
Name all 20 of them. People would like to hear, where are they going? Because maybe the people don't want them to be rerouted to New York City if they're going somewhere that they really care about. So list them out at least on the website so we can comb through it. And I think this is somebody who's following through with the actions they said they would do. So again, we have to give Mamdani more than 4 weeks, as you mentioned in the intro, that he's been in office, and let his plan play out. He's been elected. Let's see how his plan works out, and then we can criticize down the line when things have a chance to.
The plan for landlords was to give them a financial incentive to never fix anything.
No, that's not you got to be a good person, Robbie. You got to fix the faucet if somebody's paying you to live in your space. You can't just let them be for dead without a faucet.
You got to fix the faucet, but
you can't be a slumlord.
Upgrading to the infrastructure that they're only going to do if they can charge more for the unit.
Robbie, he has instances, he said, over 1,000 of complaints from an owner, a business that has multiple buildings in New York that's not doing the right thing by the people that live there and the residents and the tenants. And so if that's the case, if there's one company that's claiming bankruptcy while at the same time dismissing the concerns of people that have been paying and lining your pocket for years, you got to make that right before you...
tenants who would be willing to pay more in exchange for better service and a nicer building.
You got to fix the economy for people to be willing to pay more.
Well,
we can't. No one has any extra money to pay more.
Well, then you got to go somewhere where you can afford to live. I mean, sorry.
America's not that affordable right now, Robbie.
New York's not that affordable. America's plenty affordable. There are plenty of...
So somebody should just get up and move. Get out of New York.
People act like that's such an affront to our ancestors all moved.
It costs money to move. It costs money to move,
Go west, young man. Head out. That's what people move with their feet to more affordable areas where there's more economic opportunity. That's what everybody did for hundreds and hundreds of years, and now New Yorkers are acting like that's some affront to their dignity. Well, I don't see it that way.
Okay, well, I disagree because New York is the stock exchange. New York is the fashion capital. New York is one of the entertainment capitals. It just has everything there for you, and so people really do a lot of business there. People international countries spend their days working off of a schedule that's East Coast timing. Sometimes they have scheduled emails or meetings based on East Coast timing. I think it's a real important place
I didn't
in a
say
different
leave
way.
the East Coast. I said leave New York.
Okay.
I can't deal with any time zone other than Eastern time. I don't know what time it is anywhere else.
All right.
DC. Come to DC. It's great. Although not right now because we're frozen in a giant block of ice. Next up, Jeremy Boring, co-founder of the Daily Wire. He's speaking out what he thinks are the key differences between various right-wing figures, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, etc. Haven't heard from him in a while since his exit from the Daily Wire. Very interesting. We'll be right back.